Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to my beautiful red Ford Capri 2.8 injection. It's an early car and still got its original 4-speed gearbox, and still got its original F-pot alloys and stripes and trim and all of that good stuff, and it's usually great fun. However, last couple of days we've had a few issues with it, not wanting to start. So there was two issues with it. I knew that the battery was on its way out, because to be fair, it was 10 years old, never been changed, so it was due a new battery. It had also got a potential issue that sounded like a starter motor, or the start of the motor failing itself. Sometimes it would engage, sometimes it wouldn't. So replaced the obvious stuff first, went and got a battery and got a round terminal conversion kit, just to make it a little bit easier, because the square terminal stuff is getting a little bit harder to find in the shops these days. Put the battery on and it still wouldn't start. Wouldn't even turn over at all this time, so nothing at the key. Could hear the fuel pump priming, but then nothing. So started checking the wiring from the top, all the fuses, making sure everything was where it should be, obviously making sure that the battery terminals are all secure and there was nothing missed off there. And I thought, well, it must be the starter motor. After all, it is 40 years old, so it stands a really good chance, and it hadn't been sounding too good just lately. So dug out a second-hand starter motor I got off a vehicle I broke up for parts, and jacked it up, ready to do the bizzo on the starter motor. Get underneath the vehicle and find a break in a wire. So this is one of the signal wires from the back of the starter motor, and it looked like it had been rubbing through on the other wire for a few years, and it had also been rubbing on part of the body. So in a way, we're lucky it didn't catch fire, because we've all seen horror stories of classic cars on the side of the road in flames, and that's one of the primary reasons. Wiring that's 40 years old is quite dangerous, because it gets brittle, it's broken, live wires start to earth out on the body or on a piece of metal or mechanical components, and that can be a real problem. So you've got to make sure that you check that stuff first and make sure it's all safe and secure. So on this one, I'll just show you this. So cut a piece out, and just so we can try it, put a joiner in it. Obviously we'll put a solder joint back in it before we put it together. And it now starts just as it should. First turn of the key. So I suppose my tale this afternoon is, make sure you check everything all the way through, and check those small wires as well, because they make a big difference. It is 40 years old. You're going to have some temperamental connections. You're going to have stuff breaking up, particularly wiring covering. So it's well worth checking that to make sure your vehicle's safe, reliable. Yeah, check the small stuff. Have a great day, everyone.